Tolly, a huge game for you, 17 points. Y'all move on to the Super 16. Just talk to me about tonight's game.
It was just a big game for us. I mean, we haven't played since our last game at the WAC tournament. It was a while, but we were getting ready for it, and I think our practice players pushed us a lot in practice. It was a hard practice going in for a couple of weeks, so I think them going hard at us helped us come out with the win today.
You go 5 of 8 from the three-point line. Just talk to me about what was working for you on the
I think it was just getting myself open, but also my teammates seeing me that I was open, and then also just the confidence. I mean, Coach Goodenough texted me before a game. She sent me this little quote. It was like, you miss 100% of your shots that you don't make. So I think that like just stuck with me the whole game. So it was like, if I'm open, shoot it. Yeah.
And Jasmine Stone, plus 24 in the plus-minus off the bench. Talk to me about what you saw from her tonight.
She stepped up for us big time. I mean, we needed her at the end of the game. Like, some of us weren't hitting, they were denying us, and she stepped up and got us the buckets that we need, and that's how we finished the game, and that's how we came out with the dub.
And a really good team across the court from Conference USA, the runner-up. Just talk to me about, y'all's approach to them and then, being able to beat them.
Just our approach to them was that they were going to come at us aggressive, so we had to take that and handle that. They're a really good team. I give it all to them. They played us hard tonight, so even watching them against Stenson, I mean, we knew we couldn't back down because they came back and won in overtime, so we knew we just had to keep going hard because they were going to come hard at us.
And then a couple of runs, y'all went on a couple matching runs from them. Talk to me about what the coaches were saying in those huddles.
They were just saying we just got to keep going, don't lay down. We just got to keep pushing. I mean, it's a game of runs, so we just got to keep going. They're going to go on runs, that's fine. We're going to go on a run too, so we just got to keep ourselves high and never get low.
Tolly, you had obviously a great game, 5 for 8 from 3. This is y'all's second highest percentage on the season. Is that confidence contagious around the team?
Yes, I feel like once one is hitting, everybody hit. I mean, half of us were in double figures tonight, so I think we just feed off of each other, especially the energy. Like Jazz, she came off the bench and she started cooking, so.
Y'all had a couple lapses on defense, but then you would come down and you would get a bucket. What's that mentality like to just stay in the game and go there on offense? Get your
I think just from the lapses, I mean, we go down, it's next play. You got to shake it off. It's a long game, and it's a whole game of lapses. I mean, you could get a lapse on offense and defense, so it was just like, okay, move on to the next play. Since we messed up on defense this time, it's not going to happen again on the second time, so we just know that we just got to fix it and just move on right away.
Season high in minutes, are you feeling that on your body a little bit, or were you kept pushing through?
No, I just kept pushing through. I mean, we haven't played in a while, and I definitely felt that, but I mean, I just kept pushing through because all my teammates were going through the same thing I felt, so it was like, I can't give up I'm not tired, they're not tired, we just got to keep going, finish this game.
I don't know if anyone's coined this term, but it felt like there were a lot of Emma plays out there today. Talk about her effort on both ends and just how that kind of helped set the tone for this one.
I just think Emma's just a tough player. I mean, she guarded 23. She was a really good player. I give it all to her. She was player of the year, but Emma stepped up to the challenge. She's the toughest person out there. She'll take a charge for you even though you get beat on defense. You know Emma's going to be there and take a charge for you. Even on offense when you get stuck, even when I got stuck on the bottom, I knew Emma was going to be right there. So just having that thing in the back of your head that Emma's always going to have your back no matter what is just a great feeling.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, Jazz, your best game of the season in a game that was do or die. Just talk to me about your mindset and your game tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, going into the game, our biggest asset or what our focus was controlling the controllables. And so going out and seeing, we need a little bit of energy. I'm always ready to step up to the plate and bring that. And I think that the biggest thing was just going out and having fun and matching their energy and, staying confident in each other. I think that, a lot of my assists came from the fact that, when my teammates are open, I'm definitely going to give it to them. And so just a lot of excitement, a lot of fun. And I think that also, shout out to our crowd that came too, just, really amped up the environment and made it a lot of fun. So.
When you first went into the game, their full court press was really giving the team trouble. Just talk to me about your ability to break that and then get the momentum in your favor?
Absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, the biggest thing, this week, especially in the point guard position, was we knew that a lot of pressure was going to come with it. And so being able to handle that pressure, and then also just being basketball players, coach always gives us a play to run, but if they're over aggressive or overplaying us, we know that, pushing it full court, great things happen when we beat teams in transition. So I think, being able to, like I said, be basketball players, get it out, go, and put that pressure on the defense. And like I also said, my teammates are always going to knock that shot down. So being able to kick it and put that pressure on the defense to step up every time. So.
Y'all were plus 30 in the three-point shot. You talked about teammates knocking shots down. Just talk to me about, how big that was for the team.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the awesome things about coming off the bench is that, I get to get a little head start in watching and seeing what's going on and seeing, what I need to come in and do. And so, the biggest thing I saw, like you mentioned, was just the pressure on us point guards. So, being able to come in and attract all of that attention and then kick out to my open teammates, I think was vital for us this game, and making that one more pass just kind of, got him out of position. And like I said, one thing about us is we're going to knock that three down. So it was really exciting to see it all fall in place.
Late in that fourth quarter, you missed a layup. You got it back from the other girl.
Yeah.
Went out to the corner and then hit that three. We're pretty fired up. Just
Yeah.
talk to me about that stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. We do work on them layups every day. So, I knew I had to at least hustle and get it back. That was the biggest thing. But, one of the emphasis, on this team is like it's next play mentality, kind of like how Tali talked about. So, not getting hung up on the miss, but knowing that, it's the effort of getting it back, and then also being confident in myself to come back and knock that shot down was the biggest thing. I knew I had to kind of redeem myself there because I was pretty open. So it was really exciting. But, yeah, just, the extra 50-50 plays and just knowing that that one miss doesn't define anything, and just getting it back and, knocking it down.
You talked about coming in and running your team and getting your team in the right spot, but, you got number 5 on their team who was a really good point guard for them.
Yeah.
Just talk to me about what the defensive side looked like for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, kudos to her. She's a super aggressive point guard. She's really fast downhill. And I think, one thing I kind of had to notice was matching, her aggressiveness and her intensity and quickness. So really like pushing myself out of my comfort zone and being like, all right, like I got to sprint my life out and cut her off. And then just knowing that she's also a really good facilitator. So making those passes hard to getting her teammates open, especially 23 who can, knock that thing down. So just putting that pressure on her and then matching her intensity was kind of the biggest focus for me and also Bree in that point guard position.
7 assists to 1 turnover. What were you seeing on the court today to limit those turnovers and have a ton of assists?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, coming off the bench is awesome. I get to see a couple things before I go out there and do it. And so I kind of saw that pressure that was being applied on us guards. And so knowing that, the extra pass was there. And I'm not going to lie, like I am overly confident in my teammates to knock that shot down. And so finding them in every open position, I think, was my biggest focus going out there. And then just being able to handle that full court pressure. I mean, right when they made a shot, like the guards were matched up on us right away. So, fighting to get position, get open, and then, like I said, being basketball players. And, if they're overplaying me, let's go, you know what I mean, and get it down the court. And I think that was, the biggest turnaround for us was pushing or applying that pressure on them and not, having to set up every time, but noticing, like, we call it primary break. I mean, we're getting in and we're going, and then finding that open person. And, like I said, we're going to knock it down. So that was really exciting to see it all fall out.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Coach, you moved back into the Super 16 for the second consecutive year. Just talk to me about tonight's win.
I'm just so proud of this team. This is our 24th win today. That's huge. I mean, if we win 20 games, that's been a really great season. And to win 24 games, we're really proud of that. And huge accomplishment today. I mean, FIU is a great team, number 2 in the Conference USA. They have the Conference Player of the Year. I mean, like, we didn't have an answer for her, but our team just, like both Tali and Jazz mentioned, they just moved on to the next play. If we made a mistake on defense, they were going to be aggressive offensively and try to, get those points back. Just really proud. I thought we had a great team effort today. The number of assists might be the number I'm most proud of on this. Of course, I love the 12 threes as well, but 17 assists, I mean, that's big-time numbers for us. we forced our opponent into 23 turnovers, scored 28 points off of that. Kind of getting back to who we were when we were rolling in conference play, just being able to capitalize on forcing turnovers. But, this is exciting. Wish we could play at home. I don't know how they decide who the hosts are, but this was incredible today. We had an amazing crowd. Hardin-Simmons did a phenomenal job hosting us, and we were crossing our fingers that we would get a chance to host instead of going back to Illinois State where we played last year.
You mentioned it there. You get to come back to Hardin-Simmons where you first got your first start. Just talk to me about getting this win tonight with that crowd.
Yeah, why they hired me, I don't know. I mean, I'm a student teacher at a junior high in Lubbock, and I get the head coaching job here. So grateful and blessed. This, it just sent me on the trajectory of my entire career, being able to start my head coaching career at Hardin-Simmons with phenomenal administrators and head coaches that really invested in me and helped me understand what it takes to run a program. It's a big deal. It's not just about X's and O's. That's about, 30% of this. Like, it's really hard. And so, I was here for 9 seasons. Love the folks here. John Neese, the vice president of athletics, had to approve us coming here and playing this game, and he did not hesitate to say, yes, we'll do it. The vice president of campus operations, Tim McCary, this was on him to get this place ready to go and to communicate with our people about, how we could come over and host it. And, they did not hesitate. And Tim and John are like brothers to me. When I started my career, they were here and lifelong friends. And so this was really special for me to come back and coach here. I've coached here before during Sing Song. When we had a conference game, we came over here and played. But it was really fun to be here. I saw a lot of Hardin-Simmons fans here cheering for us, and man, the ACU crowd came out in big numbers. It was a phenomenal crowd, like Tolly and Jazz mentioned, and you just there's no substitute for that. When you have a big crowd of your faithful supporters cheering you on and helping you out with the officials and all of that, like, it's just a blessing. The people that support this team this year, I'm really grateful for the tremendous crowds that we've had.
Jasmine Stone, maybe this game of her career tonight, plus 24 and the plus minus off the bench. Talk to me about what you saw.
She just came in the game and just ran right into the storm head first. She was ready to go. Read the defense really well. Thought she was. It's the best I've seen her facilitate. Just running offense, finding open teammates. Jazz spends time in the gym on her own shot, and she knocked down shots when we needed her to. Her shots were huge. 7 assists, that's a big deal. And, the extra points coming off the bench from she and Riley, like, we need those in postseason play. And so I'm really proud of the way that she played for us tonight.
And you mentioned the scoring off the bench, but how big was the bench momentum-wise being loud as well with, the other team not scoring a bench?
Yeah. Jazz had the majority of those points, but Riley Groman played some great minutes for us, both offensively and defensively. And so, Amy came in so that Emma could have a breather, and, she held her own while she was out there. And so I'm proud of the way that our bench has kind of turned itself around the last probably month. They are ready to play when they get out on the court, and are just, helping us progress for sure.
We talked about Jazz and Tolly, but talk to me about Peyton. She was, I think, your 4th scorer in double digits, but still was able to go get hers. Talk to me about the patience and then just not forcing the issue.
Yeah, I mean, Peyton just has such a scoring mentality, and it's hard to hold her back. Like the last minute and a half of the game, we really just need to run clock, but she just can't help it. She wants to go score, and I love that about her. She's really hard to contain. And when she has 3 teammates around her scoring in double digits, like we have 4 double-digit scores, that's a huge deal. Lots of, people contributing today. So, yeah, I thought Peyton did a great job and had a lot of, players around her that played equally as well.
Y'all outscored them by 30 in the three-point category. What do you like to see about that? And then the sub-question to that, how is your three-point defense today comparatively to how it is?
Yeah, so FIU, I mean, they score all their points in the paint pretty much. And, I mean, you saw tonight, we couldn't keep them out of the paint, and we knew that. Like, they score off offensive rebounds, drives, post feeds. They score in transition. I mean, they score so many points in the paint, and we, tried hard not to let them get in there. But three-point shooting is not something that they hang their hat on. But, my gosh, if we stepped off of help too early. They kicked out to wide open shooters. But proud of our players for kind of understanding, the strengths of their team. For us, shooters got to shoot. Our players know if you turn down an open shot after a teammate gets you open, you're going to come out of the game. I mean, that's kind of our policy with our shooters. And we have a lot of good shooters on the team. And, like Tolly said, I tell them all the time, like, you're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And so, if you're open, you have to shoot it. Like, that's part of who we are offensively. So I was really proud of them for, being shot ready. Be ready to take shots. I'm fine with us shooting 40 or 45 threes a night. I don't care. I mean, if that's what the teams are giving us, we're going to take those. And so it was fun to see those falling for our players tonight.
You got out-rebounded by 12, but you still had only 2 less offensive rebounds. What can you say about the team's hustle when it comes to getting those?
Yeah, they were killing us rebounding at halftime. We had single-digit rebounds at halftime, which is totally unacceptable. No one was blocking out. No one was going after offensive rebounds except for Emma Troxel. She had our 2 offensive rebounds. And so that was probably the biggest point of emphasis at halftime. We knew this was a great rebounding team. Another way they score a lot is off offensive rebounds. And so our players did a great job following through with the message they received at halftime and made adjustments and became rebounders like we know that we can rebound in the second half.
I've actually got one more. You took number 5 from them aside and gave her a big hug after that game. Just talk to me about what you were saying to her and what she did against y'all.
Hey, she's a problem. Like, she is so quick with the ball in her hands. And her assist numbers are crazy, what she has done this season. And she's had, people around her she can get the ball to. Defensively, I mean, we're going to pull clips from her to show our guards at the end of this season, like, this is how you play on-ball defense. I thought she was really, really good. And she had to play 40 minutes tonight, and honestly, I didn't really see a letdown. I mean, that kid is tough as nails.